The Comfort Zone with Ray Comfort. Thought-provoking. Informative. Engaging. Are you ready to be inspired and equipped? And now, The Comfort Zone with Ray Comfort.
Welcome to The Comfort Zone with Ray Comfort, where we, your humble hosts, are back to serve you with effervescent alacrity. You're laughing at me, Ray. Would you want us to give a perfunctory effort in the service of our friends?
I'm laughing with you because I know what you're doing on the inside.
Now listen, friends, we are thrilled to pieces today because it's not every day that you come across an ancient relic. Today we have, and behold, I present to you the ancient relic of Scotty phone. Look at that.
I thought you were going to introduce Scotty, and I was going to, what are you doing?
That's a razor, by the way.
That
was touted as the thinnest phone that you could get.
Now we were sitting here in the studio.
It with yours.
Yeah, I was sitting here in the studio. I looked over and I'm like, what in the world is that? What are these buttons? What are buttons, right?
Buttons.
I have no idea.
Buttons.
Come on, Scotty. Get with it. See, this is
And
what
he's
it's all
actually
about.
got what he uses hunting the beaches.
This is
more
my
up
little
to date
one.
than yours.
I know. Scotty's got two phones, so I guess you can have it's like an ancient or classic car, right?
Yeah,
People
it
like
becomes
those, they're cool.
topical,
Yeah.
remarkable.
Friends, it's great to be back. Why am I so energetic
where were
today?
we?
I don't know. We go everywhere. Now listen, if you have not connected with us live, please do it. We've been giving away prizes in the chat room. We've got Funsusu in the chat room ready to talk to you, so jump in. tczlive.com, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific.
Friday?
TCZ Live, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Make sure to join us. And today, believe it or not, we're going to be giving away Ray Comfort's 101 Things Dogs Do to Annoy Their Owners. Ray, this should be like 1,001 things, really.
That was easy to do. Sam inspired the whole thing.
Right. And look, friends, it's color. Yeah, that's
And
nice.
it's evangelistic.
Yeah,
That's why
so
it was
make sure to
written.
jump into the chat room. And if you haven't connected with us through Facebook, do that. Ray Comfort, Emeal, Zwayne, Stuart Scott, Mark Spence, and we'd love to connect with you. Just go right now, do it. And listen, put it in your Outlook to watch us live, because I know you forget, but if you put it in your calendar with the alarm, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, then you'll do it, tczlive.com.
It has an alarm?
Yeah. Well, you have do you have Scotty's arcade phone? Those don't. All right, friends, we're going to jump into it today. This is actually something that I found. Well, I was surprised by it. Let's just say that. This is about Sharon Osbourne, and she said having an abortion was, quote, the worst thing I ever did. This is quoted from Life News. She recounted, and she said, I had an abortion at 17, and it was the worst thing I ever did. I went alone. I was terrified. It was full of other young girls, and we were all terrified and looking at each other, and nobody was saying a word. I howled my way through it, and it was horrible. I would never recommend it to anyone because it comes back to haunt you. When I tried to have children, I lost 3. I think it was because something had happened to my cervix during the abortion. Now, Ray, when you think of the Osbourne family, they used to have a program on television where it was anything but your typical traditional family.
I love Donny Osbourne. Yeah. Great. They're Mormons, though, aren't they?
Wrong.
Is this a
Osbourne?
sister? Oh,
Right.
yes, yeah.
But, you know, Ozzy Osbourne, you all know Ozzy Osbourne, of course.
It's a wholesome.
In fact, we went to one of his concerts and we did some filming for season, I think, 2 or 3.
Oh,
Remember that?
yes, I remember that. I
It was
learned
an
some new
interesting
words,
night.
yes.
Yeah, oh, boy. But, Ray, seriously, though, you don't typically expect something like that from someone who is so steeped in the liberal Hollywood
Absolutely.
culture and who's also married to Ozzy Osbourne, who's pretty crazy, at least in the public sense. So what do you make of this? She's saying, hey, I had an abortion and I regret it. It's the worst thing I have ever done.
Well, I rejoiced at first, but then I thought about what she's actually saying, and it says something different. It sounds like she's saying, don't have an abortion because it's wrong, but she's not. She's saying, don't have an abortion because it's a horrible experience. If it was a good experience, then I think I'd probably recommend it.
That's a good
It's like
point.
someone I was shooting Jews the other day, and man, it was a horrible experience. It made me all nervous and
Yeah.
sweaty, and, you know, I wouldn't recommend it, but, you know, if it didn't feel bad, go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's not condemning abortion, it's just saying this was a bad experience I went through.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the whole ordeal when there was the clinic with a Gonzal, I think, Alan, was it?
Yes.
The guy who had the clinic. And the problem was not that he was murdering babies, but it wasn't sanitary.
He wasn't doing it properly.
And he wasn't doing it properly, and, you know, maybe I think they said he killed some of the babies after they were born or whatever.
Yeah.
But that really is a perspective. How does it affect me, as opposed to
Yes.
what does a holy God have to say about something atrocious like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Scotty, what do you make of this? Because there are, though, on the factual side of things, there are radical repercussions psychologically and physically for abortion as well.
Yeah. You know, I talked to an expert before I came on the show today, Jaylene.
Wow.
She is one of our operators, but she goes out every Saturday to the abortion clinic in downtown Los Angeles area. And boy, some of the stories she comes back with, and pleading with women and stuff. But you know, there are physical things that go wrong, and there's lots of reasons why not to have an abortion, just medically, just physically, as well as emotional. You know, there's the guilt, you know you've done something wrong afterwards. But a point that she brought out was we tend to make, or we tend to look at the women as the victim, or, you know, post-abortion counseling and all of these things, and they come out crying with people with their arms around them, giving them sympathy for the horrible experience. Well, they went in there premeditatedly to do that very thing and to murder their child. And it's first-degree murder. And they're not the victims. The child is the victim.
Right.
And so it was... that's what this article reminded me of, and just like Ray says, it's not a good experience. Well, you're looking at the person doing this evil act as some kind of victim. You know, the blood of the innocents cries out. You think of Abel when he was murdered, and his blood cried out to God. The blood that they shed that's in the abortion room cries out to God. I wanted to bring up one scripture in Deuteronomy as a relief, because we could go on and on about condemning and talking about these things, but the scripture goes like this: "So you shall put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you when you do what is right in the sight of the Lord." And there is help for those who have had abortions and now they realize the horror of what they've done. Turn back to the Lord and put your faith in God. That's the answer to the whole thing.
Amen.
It just reminds me of how every day Alan says, turn your cell phone off as we begin, as we begin the program.
I forgot. We got caught up in the whole cell phone thing.
Mine played Mission Impossible when my pastor was preaching once, and I,
oh boy.
I panicked.
You know what? One time, actually, I was about to get up and speak to a group. And, you know, I'm sitting there praying, and I'm like, oh, man, you know, you just want the Lord to move in your heart and to just give you direction. I'm like, God, give me direction, give me guidance. Next thing I know, a cell phone starts off, and it was, "Hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more." I'm like, ah! Anyways, friends.
You should have sung it.
Yeah, Scotty, no, that's some really good points on that. And, you know, sorry, we went into joking around. We shouldn't have done it. This is a serious topic, and it is a, you know, women are painted today, Ray, to be victims in this whole thing. And look, there's a way of speaking the truth and then giving the gospel of hope and of life. There's a way of telling a woman, look, you're not a victim here. You're someone who's about to commit a murder.
Yeah.
This is a crime. This is a heinous, abominable sin in the sight of God who gives life. You know, and then if they go ahead with it, you can give them the gospel of hope that if they repent, that there is salvation and forgiveness in Christ. That's the message of the gospel. But you can't water it down and pretend like, oh, poor woman. Not that you can't have sympathy for a person's situation or circumstances, and the fact that they live in the midst of a deceptive age that tries to tell them that they're not criminals or that it's, you know, that they're just victims. But you can speak the truth in love.
Absolutely.
And give them the hope of the gospel at the same time.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Elaborate.
I'm very excited about the next video.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right, friends, check this out.
Andrew, place the ring on Melissa's hand and repeat after me. I, Andrew Paul Daniel Engstrom.
I'm not putting it on the wrong way.
There we go. I, Andrew Paul Daniel Engstrom.
I, Andrew Paul Daniel Engstrom,
Do take Melissa Renee Warren.
do take Melissa Renee Warren
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
to be my lawfully and pancakey I've been scared of this all my life. Just give her a second.
It's okay, folks. I've seen this before. Okay. I, Andrew Paul Daniel.
See, man and wife.
The court will take a recess.
That was classic. I mean,
Absolutely
look, weddings are tough. I've done tons of weddings. I've married tons of couples. And, you know, you don't want things to go wrong. But sometimes when something like that happens, you almost look back and say, that was cool.
It was.
You know,
I
I mean,
just
it's
love that.
a precious memory. Millions of people around the world have seen it. But I'm sure some couples have said worse at the altar, I can imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the poor couples that pass out, you know, with the locking of the knees and...
Yeah, I had to marry someone called Tom and Debbie.
What?
Tom and I did 4 weddings.
You married someone named Tom?
Yeah, Tom and Debbie, but I thought I was going to say Tom and Jerry. I couldn't. It's just, but I didn't. But anyway, she's the sort of person you want in the front row at a church preaching at. So when you
What?
touch humor, she'll just let
she
go.
laughs.
Yeah. But
So
what
she
a
was laughing
delight!
throughout the wedding?
What a delightful woman. No. That lady we're just talking about.
Oh, that was great. That was so delightful. All right, friends, on to an email. This is from Rocky. I'm having a hard time establishing a devotional time with God. I even can't start this thing called 7 Minutes with God. Is there a right or better way to have devotions? You know, Scotty, I'd like you to answer this. One of the things that delighted me when we went for a visit to your home was your devotional spot that you showed us. I don't know if you still use the same spot, but I know that time with the Lord in the mornings, especially for you, is very important. So maybe you can help answer our friend's question.
Yeah. It's reading the Word, and by the way, my spot has moved.
Oh, it has.
It's moved to the living room, but it's just getting up in the morning and making God first. I love Ray's comment. He says, no Bible, no breakfast, no read, no feed.
It's not original.
Well, but I use it all the time. The way he put it to me, I've never forgotten, so I put it to other people. You eat every day, right? Well,
Right.
you know what you're doing? You're putting your belly before God. And boy, that one sticks. You don't want to do that or be accused of it. So put your Bible first. It only takes a minute. And so when I have trouble concentrating, or sometimes I don't go right into prayer, I just read the Word and let God's Word inspire me and lift me to other places. And that's my suggestion. Read God's Word if you're having trouble, and
Yeah,
don't neglect it.
right. Ray, what about you? Devotions have been a huge part of your life
Oh,
all
yes,
your life.
absolutely. I would just ask Rocky this one thing. What would you say to some guys who say, I just got married, but I have trouble spending 7 minutes with my wife each day? I can't find time. I'm just so busy.
Hey, you know, illustrations like that are so helpful. You know, it's like the sharing your faith if you got $1,000 each time.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
imagine, or $10,000. Imagine each time you spent time with the Lord, 100 grand. That's convicting.
I could find time for that.
Every 2 minutes.
But I love it when you meet a Marine or someone's been in the military. You can just tell in an instant, that they've had discipline instilled into them, and that's what a Christian is: a disciple of Christ, someone who's disciplined. And the Christian walk is a walk of denial.
Right.
Moses was in denial.
Where's my rim shot, man? I gotta have that thing handy.
But really, seriously. I'd rather do other things than spend time with the Lord. I'd rather do other things than read the Word. I'd rather do other things than evangelize. But I'd rather do other things than go to church on Sundays. But I'm not my own. I'm bought with a price. I take up my cross daily, deny myself, and follow Him because I love Him. So love is a choice.
Yeah.
And so you choose to set aside time. So I've got a suggestion, Rocky. I suggest you spend 2 hours a day in devotions.
What? That's crazy. I can't do that, huh?
What about 7 minutes then?
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, thank you, Easy. That was
Trying to
even
help,
planned.
because I knew where Ray was going with that.
Yeah, because that's what I do. If I have to fast a meal or something, I think, imagine if God put on me to do a 10-day fast. A meal is easy, so the comparison thing really helps.
No, but you hit it well in talking about discipline. Rocky, and anyone else watching, I would recommend a great book by R. Kent Hughes called Disciplines of a Godly Man. And there's actually one for women too, Disciplines of a Godly Woman. Excellent book, but in there, Ray, he makes a point that when you look at the great men and women of God throughout history that had a great impact in the world for God's glory, the one common thread you'll find in all of their lives was discipline.
Yeah.
That's the one indisputable factor. Whether it's a Whitefield or a Wesley or a Luther or a Moody, they were men who were disciplined. And they were determined to put the things of God first. But the thing that we need to recognize is that there's a practical aspect to our devotional life. It's really the catalyst to a day and then a life of effectiveness for the Lord. If your whole life is just, or the whole of your devotion to God consists of that time in the morning, then you're not going to be effective for God. But that's what sparks the day and gets you going. And it's practical. If you want to be effective for the Lord, if you want to have a life that's vibrant and useful, then have a life that contains what? Seeking God's face, crying out to the Lord, studying His Word so you can get guidance on how to live. It's not just let me do this spiritual discipline to do it. It's practical, right?
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, how I love your word is one who finds great spoil. But Rocky, think of the movie Rocky. I haven't seen the movie Rocky.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. Is that the right song? No, sorry, wrong song. Sorry.
That's Ben-Hur. No, but I know the movie Rocky is about discipline. That guy disciplined himself to the nth degree. Running and boxing and not that I'm into all that sort of stuff, but I mean that's the essence of if you want to do something in your life, you put your mind to it, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
And that's what we should do as Christians. If you do that just to smack some guy in the head and get money and some big belt, big deal.
Right.
But this is eternal reward.
Yeah, like it talks about in the Word that some run for a perishable wreath, but we for an imperishable. So, Scotty, you were amening there quite loudly.
That was
Oh, I
from
liked
the
what
studio.
you had to say. That was really good, Easy, and it makes so much sense. Start your day with God, and if you're having trouble, well, get over it. Just do what you need to do,
Gird up.
quit complaining about it and do it.
Yeah, and I think, Ray, sometimes we have misunderstood grace in the church today. Obviously, there's been a great reaction over the last few centuries to legalism and outward form as opposed to inward transformation. But I think we go to the opposite extreme sometimes, and we get the attitude of, I'm saved by grace, and so none of that is necessary. Of course you're saved by grace. You can do nothing to be saved. But if you look in Titus, he says that we're saved by the mercy and grace of God. He says, but these things, speaking of good works, are good and profitable to men. So if we love the Lord, He wants to set aside for Himself His own special people, it says in Titus as well, zealous for good works. Right. Again, not for the purpose of attaining salvation, but because there are practical ramifications to those things.
Another, just a very gentle, kind word. Go to the ant, you sluggard, and consider her ways and be wise. Notice it's a female. It's not his ways and be wise. Hard workers. Ants are always work, work, work.
Yeah.
Hi ho, off to work we go. They're all doing. You never see a dead ant.
Right.
I mean, I never see a sleeping ant. You see dead ants sometimes, but never just sunbathing ant. Just lying back and just enjoying it, just chilling out. They're always doing something, marching somewhere, and that's what we're to go to. The ant who's built. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Sue and I were sitting out doing nothing yesterday, And
Doing what?
Nothing.
Go to the ant. you
But we were
sluggard.
studying the ant. And we saw all these ants just marching like carrying stuff. And some were going this way, some going that way. What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. They're programmed to do that. They've got this mind to do it, and we're told to go to the ant and consider her ways and be wise, and we're called sluggards if we don't apply ourselves to work.
Right. Amen. Antology, friends. Antology. We all need to become
here we go.
antologists to learn the ant's ways.
Antinomian.
Antinomian as well. That's bad. All right, friends. Now on to the portion of the program that you all are extremely excited about.
Is it the ending?
Trivia.
We're finishing.
No, that too. I know. Oh boy.
Time went quick.
It's time for the freebie frenzy, as Alan calls it. Now remember, only those that are logged into the chat room can participate. If you're watching by YouTube, where tens of thousands of you do, you can't participate. So tczlive.com, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, and you can join in. So, that's a drum roll. Here is the question
Sound like a phone.
for today, and the first person who answers the question in the chat room will win the prize. 101 Things Dogs Do to Annoy Their Owners, Ray Comfort's new book.
Signed by my dog.
In color, right? You should have had Sam do a palm
I did. I
print.
got a special pad for him to do
Paw
it. But
print.
he's just too
Didn't
humble.
do it. All right, friends, so here is the question. Here we go. Who said, "Am I a dog that you came at me with sticks?" Look at that.
Oh, look at the teeth. I love it when dogs do
Oh,
that.
that is too cool. All right, friends, we will give the answer and announce the winner after this.
Hi, I'm Ray Comfort.
And I'm Kirk Cameron. Think of the terrible fate of those you love if they die in their sins. The Bible makes it very clear that without Christ, they'll spend eternity in the lake of fire. What a terrifying thought. What are you doing to reach them? How can you help them see their need for a Savior?
We've created an exciting and totally unique 8-week training course that will help you to reach them biblically and competently. This course is based on our award-winning television program, The Way of the Master. It's like nothing you've ever seen.
We know that you battle fear, but we're going to show you how to overcome it by giving you a simple, powerfully effective way to make the gospel make sense to the people you care about.
And he says that if you will repent of your sin and trust in Jesus to save you, then he will forgive you of your sin and grant you eternal life, not just because you're sorry, but because Jesus paid your fine and now he can let you go. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
We'll teach you how to bypass the intellect, the place of argument, and speak directly to the conscience, the place of the knowledge of right and wrong.
When you stand before God on Judgment Day, are you going to be innocent or guilty?
As of now, guilty.
Would you go to heaven or hell?
Probably hell.
Does that concern you, Amanda?
Yeah.
You don't have to be an expert in apologetics or archaeology, and you don't have to know Greek. Just let love swallow your fears and follow in the footsteps of Jesus. And we don't just tell you how to share the gospel, we show you. Through fascinating, real-life conversations, you get to eavesdrop as we witness to people from all walks of life. Gang members, cult members, atheists, intellectuals, on the beach, in parks, on airplanes, and in malls.
I think you've changed my outlook though on all of this. Definitely have. You know, makes me wonder if someone is up there. I don't know, but that's something I'll definitely sit down and reflect on, especially after this.
Hey, thanks for talking with me, Shane. I wish you all the best. God bless you.
This happened for a reason.
I think so too.
Happened for a reason.
Right on, man.
It's a wake-up call.
Have a good day.
You too. Wake-up call. Outside.
It's simple, it's effective, and biblical. It's what Jesus did.
Sign up for the Way of the Master basic training course in your church. Please don't wait.
Do it for someone you love.
I love the ending of that interview where the guy says, "This is a wake-up call. This happened for a
I
reason."
love that.
And I love the way he's turning.
Trayvon, I think.
Yeah, he's turning around as he walks off. It reminded me of that guy in Ben-Hur. He said, "No water for you," and Jesus stood up and faced him. He kept turning around and looking at him.
Yeah. No, it's awesome when you see someone impacted,
Yes.
like
yeah,
that in
it was
front
wonderful.
of you. So. All right, friends. Yes, we have a winner, and the winner is 1 Peter 3:15 through 16. No, I'm not quoting a passage, though it's a wonderful one, but that's our winner. There you have it there. And the answer is Goliath. So, congratulations. 1 Peter 3:15 through 16, who, by the way, joined the chat room for the first time today. See, friends? So first-timers can even win. And 1 Peter 3:15 through 16, it sounds funny calling you that. You will be getting 101 things dogs do to annoy their owners.
It's because he's got a brother, 2 Peter.
2 Peter, right. So if you want to get this, friends, as well, those of you watching and you're interested in getting that, livingwaters.com, you can do that as well. Now, please, if you would, email at tczlive.com, our friend who won, and just put in the headline on the winner and with your address, and we'll mail that out to you. All right, we got time for a quick question. This is from Doug and Margaret. My wife and I have found a fishing spot at the county library. The petitioning zone.
Take your time. We've got plenty of time.
When people keep on walking, we try to get some truth in their minds. We'd like your input on what you would share, brief open air, in these 3 seconds. 3-second open air. Scotty, give us some
3
wisdom.
seconds. Well, the 3-second thing reminded me of stoplight preaching, and we were faced with people just stopping at a stoplight and then leaving.
Right.
And one of the springboards I used was, hey, it's the law. You stop because you have to, and it's to your benefit. By the way, there is a law of God, so it's a legal document. Maybe you could use that as a springboard.
Right.
3 seconds is pretty quick. So this is what I'd say. Please consider you spend eternity. Read the Gospel of John. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
That's like 5 seconds. Right?
I'm sorry.
You blew it.
I would apologize to the people for
You know what would be cool is to become one of those speed talker people that do those commercials.
Easy can do it.
I wouldn't do that.
I preached a whole sermon right there. It was so quick you couldn't hear it, friends. No, yeah, look, 3 seconds is way too fast. Sometimes you may not want to do that because it can come across like you're an insane lunatic.
Well, let's say someone jumped off a building and they're going past your window and you just got 3 seconds.
Something like that. Anyhow, friends, thank you for joining us today. As always, remember to connect with us live at tczlive.com. We're here Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Remember to connect with us on Facebook. Ray Comfort, Emeal, Zwayne, Stuart Scott, Mark Spence. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're coming close to 100,000 subscriber friends. We want you to join us. And most importantly, remember, we brought you into our comfort zone to get you out of your comfort zone. So get out there and proclaim the gospel under the glory of God.
For questions about the Comfort Zone with Ray Comfort, or to submit questions for future shows, please email us at email@tczlive.com. That's email at tczlive.com. The Comfort Zone is an outreach of Living Waters. For more resources to inspire and equip you to fulfill the Great Commission, check out livingwaters.com or call toll-free 1-800-437-1893. Now go and preach the gospel.